Welcome back, everybody. Friday Night Sports. Stan Grava along with Coach Laurie DuPont of Vanderbilt Catholic. Vanderbilt moving up in the PowerPoints. You were around 20, and I know it floats. And every time I talk as an ex-coach, it's like I didn't like bringing it up, but then people says, sometimes we want to know where the PowerPoint's at after games, and you and Gary Hill sat up here last week, and it's like there's a lot of football left to be played, so let's see how it all plays out.
Well, that's what it's all about now. I think the power rating is a great it's a great system that was put in place about 15 years ago, and I think nobody's had any complaints about that. And we're a prime example at 3-4 right now, and we continue to win. We got a chance maybe to have a home game first round. I mean, there's a possibility there. I'm not saying it will happen. We got to take care of our business.
Well, the interesting thing is no matter if you have a power like Lutcher this year, who is obviously playing well, if you can't beat the team, you still get something from it. It's not like you went out there and, I guess it gives incentive to play some of those teams like that, so those teams are not left out in the cold either.
Oh, no doubt about it. If and I said at the beginning of the show, the team that beat, and I think all classification is Lutcher.
Yeah, no joke.
And if we would go down, we're gonna get 10 points from them. They'll be 10-0. And how often that happens when
can you imagine you played Lutcher and Hornville this year, and those two teams might be the best two teams in these top two classifications.
And our kids played against Hornville,
right,
and our kids are going to play well against Lutcher. They're looking forward to that, but the most important thing right now is Morgan City Friday night.
I agree. Let's take a look at the standings, Jason, if you have that ready. We'll start District 8-5A. South Lafourche 3-0 on a roll right now, 6-1 overall. South Terrebonne on a little bit down right now after a big loss to Bruley tonight, and then a loss to South Lafourche last week. So they are now at 4-3. Central Lafourche High School at 2-2. They got to be smarting just a little bit because they got knocked off by Terrebonne, also at 2-2, and Thibodaux now at 2-2. Remember, South Terrebonne still has to play Terrebonne. And then South Lafourche still has to play Thibodaux and Central Lafourche. And then you got H.L. Bourgeois down there who can come up and maybe give you trouble, and Assumption has athletes. So you never know what's going to happen in District 8-5A. There's a lot of parity, a lot of teams that can get in the playoffs. It's just a matter of how much of a run you make in the playoffs once you get in the playoffs. Let's move down to District 8-4A. And this is a nice sight for Coach DuPont as number one. The two teams tied for number one right now, Lutcher and Vanderbilt, both at 2-0. 7-0 for Lutcher, cruising along. Probably their toughest game, not probably, obviously, was Hornville early in the year, a non-district game. Morgan City at 1-1 dropped to 2-5 tonight with their loss. Belle Chase, actually those teams should be kind of swip-swap right there, Belle Chase and Helen Cox, because Helen Cox did pick up a win, but they're only 1-6 on the year. Ellender at 0-7. The nice thing about it, Coach, is you're going to be a favorite, in all honesty, against Morgan City. You're going to be a favorite against Helen Cox. It's almost now where you probably don't get a lot of power points from, say, a Ellender, because of the situation of being 0-7, but you're taking care of business because you beat those teams.
Yeah, that's important. You got to get to 10 points, and again, that's what it comes back. If you would have a team that's that like Ellender right now that's struggling a little bit, and you're not getting any points with their wins because there's none right now. But that's where your pre-district comes in, and that's what helps you, and that's what's been helping us right now, our pre-district.
And let's drop down to 6-3A. E.D. White, huge win tonight, 2-0, 6-1 on the year. Their only loss to Bruley High School, and that was by a point. And they actually beat North Vermilion, who in a lot of Louisiana sports writers polls are ahead of them, which I really don't understand. But I'd imagine with the win against Patterson, they'll move up in those polls. And obviously, power points, they were like number 2 in this state, and Patterson was 3. So obviously, they're going to enhance that a little bit. Patterson at 4-3, going to stay in that top 16 because that's where you want to be to host a game. Franklin tonight, 1-1. They actually had a tough game against Catholic of New Iberia. Berwick picks up a win. They're 3-4 overall, 1-1 in district. West St. Mary. Can you explain West St. Mary? I really can't.
No, I don't know much about them. I know when they started the school years ago, there wasn't predominantly a football team. There were more basketball and track, and But they had their ups and downs. They've got some talented kids. I've seen them on film many times against E.D. White, so I know they've got some outstanding athletes over there.
Well, it boggles my mind. That would be like if I saw West St. John scores and they were winning no games at all. I understand you have your ups and downs, but you know, Harry Coleman and those guys who used to play, who play at LSU now, and now you just see them, and for the last couple of years, it's been really bad, really bad. By the way, we talked about the PowerPoints. I have it in front of me now. In 4A, Lutcher came in at number 3. You're at number 21. Bell Chase at 39. And obviously tonight with a loss probably won't help them that much, but Helen Cox will probably move up a little bit. So we do that after the games, but it's only, you know, week 7, and we got a few more of these coming up. Another timeout we have to take, Jason? One more timeout. Let's do that real quick, and we'll come back and look at the board for Southeastern Louisiana. We'll be back right after this timeout.